How's it going today, guys and gals, and welcome to this week's AA meeting. My name is Gene. I hope everyone enjoyed their week off of My Hero Academia. And before we see the devastation Shigaraki is about to unload on our heroes, what do you guys think about my new avatar? Nice, huh? I'm still going to throw the old one around here and there, but I kind of just like the aesthetic to this one, with the whole Jotaro outfit and everything like that. Anyway, last time we left off, Aizawa-sensei was using his quirk to stop Shigaraki from using any of his newfound quirks. Will this be the one-on-one rematch we all anticipated? Or will we realistically see the other heroes lend a hand to defeat the Plus Ultra Shigaraki? Let's find out. If this is one of your first times in these meetings, I do a quick rundown of the chapter, and then I follow it up by analyzing some scenes and make predictions to what I think the next chapter will hold. Just like when All Might was fighting All for One, the news media is hovering around the battle reporting on what is going on. And speaking of All Might, he's watching the destruction of Fury. Gotta train them while they're young, I guess. As the reporter discusses the new widespread destruction, we are shown Class A's Big Three's family, including Deku's mom, Bakugo's mom, and Icy Hot's mom, brother, and sister. Finally, the broadcast portion ends, showing All for One smiling in prison. Chapter 276 is called Cheating, and we start with Aizawa holding the fort, keeping Shigaraki in check as Gran Torino pulls the boys away and Endeavor looking to put an end to this. Shigaraki speaks to his phone and states, "Kill everyone in sight." The dragon hero shouts Endeavor's name, explaining to him the situation with Aizawa. We are then introduced to a new sidekick of Endeavor's, Kick, whose quirk is Trajectory, which means he can manipulate the trajectory of things. You may be asking yourself how long Aizawa is going to be able to keep his eyes open, but don't worry, as Manuel's got that covered by keeping his eyes hydrated. Endeavor bursts toward Shigaraki, and with determination in his glare, he unleashes his attack. As Shigaraki's left arm begins to burn, he scoffs at the pain, as Endeavor formulates the idea that in order for him to be able to move so freely without him using his quirk, his strength matches that of only one hero, All Might. However, the Doctor answers this rhetorical thought by stating he's not on par with All Might only because the modification takes a toll on the brain. Aizawa, being assisted by the other heroes, thinks to himself that Shigaraki must be the result of a perfect Nomu. The fight continues as the dragon hero joins, and a big crash occurs, but we do not know what transpired. We cut back to Gran Torino as he drops off Bakugo and Deku in a safe location. Deku asks if Aizawa is really fighting Shigaraki, and Gran Torino tells him what's going on, as well as addressing Bakugo's knowledge of One for All. We are then given a map of the battlefield, giving us, the audience, a better understanding to where everyone's at. Gran Torino states he's going to go back and help the best he can, while Deku tries his best to persuade to assist. But Gran Torino informs him that if he loses One for All, the worst is to come. Close to them, they spot heroes who are still alive and are not going to let one man cause the end of the age of the hero. As they charge, more insanely strong-looking Nomus appear under the rubble. Things are shaping up to be an all-out war. Back at the crash site, we see the victor of the fight as Shigaraki mocks All Might's victory pose. We also learn that Shigaraki had full control during the decay and kept the Nomus alive, all except for this one right here. At this point, Shigaraki has his own army at his beckoning control. Oh, and the strength of these Nomus, you may be asking? They're nearly high-ends. The same level of power that almost took out Hawks and Endeavor. Gran Torino tells the boys to stay behind, as both him and Shigaraki rush Aizawa. Shigaraki's goal is to get him to stop using his quirk so he can unleash his full reign of destruction. As Shigaraki charges, Aizawa ponders to himself the outcome. What's going to happen to him? But giving up and losing isn't an option, because if he dies at this moment, he won't be able to protect his students. And just before Shigaraki touches Aizawa, Deku catches everyone off guard, as he's the first to push back Shigaraki, with Bakugo right behind him, stating that it's their time to save him. And that concludes this chapter of the week. So, did anyone else get goosebumps? No? Just me? Who else here thinks that if everyone makes it out of here in one piece, Aizawa is going to punish these two for not following orders? Let me know in the comment section below. Honestly, I really don't know where to begin, because these chapters, one after another, have been top tier. Hitokoshi is holding nothing back in this arc. So let us analyze 3 scenes in particular before I make my prediction, and those being when Shigaraki speaks on the phone, Shigaraki mocking All Might, and finally, the idea of losing One for All. let's begin. So going off on what we previously know, it's safe to say Shigaraki is speaking to Giga and the League, who I'm pretty sure didn't need this order from Shigaraki, as Toga was already slashing several heroes. So why do I bring this scene up in particular? Well, it is to remind the audience that there is another battle occurring in another town, and eventually the manga will have to cut back to that battle. In a sense, I do think it's important to see what happens over there, considering the cliffhanger left to us several chapters ago. Personally, I don't see how you can cut back to another battle, especially considering how this chapter ended. At this point, we finally get to see Deku and Bakugo team up again to fight Shigaraki. Not only is this fight important because of the cast involved, but because of who's around the boys. Let's say in this life or death scenario, Deku and Bakugo aren't able to come up with well enough combo attacks or counters to defeat Shigaraki. Well, if Aizawa and them make it out alive, I'm almost certain he'll force the two to train together and become a better team, as clearly both got the same attitude when it comes to being a hero. So in terms of when we'll cut back to the League, I feel it's safe to say we might get a peek next chapter to what's going on, but I wouldn't expect a full chapter of them for quite some time, maybe like 1 or 2 chapters from now. Next, let's talk about the meaning of the pose and why Shigaraki felt it was necessary to mock it. As we know, for years, All Might was the pillar of peace, and his victory pose assured everyone witnessing that no matter what happens, he is there, and no one will ever bring him down. This pose is so iconic, even Endeavor, who saw All Might as his rival, struck the pose when he beat High End. In this situation, Shigaraki, who hates every hero, and the society built upon the idea of justice, proclaims a similar message as he stands on top of the #1 hero. Not only do the heroes around him see this, but do not forget the news helicopter flying over them streaming this event. At this point, it's a world mockery meant to put fear in the hearts of everyone. With his fist in the air, he shows everyone that in this world, he stands taller than the society's best, and no one will stop him. Really quickly as well, let's talk about the media coverage on this battle. It was made a point that this was the 3rd city destroyed by this terroristic evil. Does anyone think that the media will play a role in how society views heroes if no one is sent to prison in this arc? The media tends to control their narrative on what they want to sell to the audience. Perfect example is what we deal with our news organizations today. But will Horikoshi involve this in his work? He's been attacked before for the littlest things, so I can see this being a good narrative to the story, but I have a hard time believing Jump will back this idea up. Just a thought, but let me know what you guys think. Finally, what are the odds of Deku losing One for All? My only questioning behind this is the amount of times these past 2 chapters has this statement been mentioned. At this current junction, that is what Shigaraki desires, and as we speak, Deku is on top of him. We will have to be patient, as first we have to wait and see how Deku can handle himself. I feel this is a discussion worth having. Let's ask, what if? What if Deku loses his quirk? How long, if ever, will he get it back? How would the story progress? I don't have an answer, but I feel it's worth an open discussion. But if I was a betting man, I'd say 70-30 Deku leaves with One for All. Prediction time. So considering how the chapter ends, it's clearly safe to say that Deku and Bakugo are about to fight Shigaraki. To what extent? I think Locke will try to assist helping as well as Gran Torino, but I think the stubbornness of the two will push the others away as they try to stop Shigaraki. Hopefully Aizawa can continue to keep using his quirk, because if Shigaraki was able to defeat Endeavor with just his strength, I don't see any chance for the boys if Shigaraki is allowed to use his quirks again. Possibly we can start to probably see a panel or 2 back to the League of Villains fight, but in my opinion, I'm more interested in this fight first and foremost before we go back and see the Toga fight. But make sure to tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Anyway, that does it for me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you don't want to miss another AA meeting, please consider subscribing to the channel. I love all the little growth I get. I think we're at 134 right now, so yeah, it's been great, guys. These last 2 months have been great. Love you. This has been Gene with Ascension Anime, and I'll see y'all next time. Ciao.